Alright, this is it with the SAR. Here we go. Guy does not want to go down.
Hello and welcome to Citizen Pew. This is Citizen Pew Commentary, and today I'm going to be talking about this guy right here, the SAR K12 Sport. And I'll tell you what, the footage you just saw, that was the first time I was at the range. It was a little dark, but I really wanted to get a few rounds of this guy off when I first picked it up. So I got some more footage. Don't worry, got some more footage in a lot better lighting. But yeah, I tell you what, I have been wanting to pick up something like this, and I didn't even know that the K19, or I'm sorry, the K12 existed until I went to the gun store and they had one, and I looked at it. I thought it was going to be a like a CZ Shadow type firearm, but it was a SAR. And I checked it out, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. And I picked her up. You can pick these up around $750-ish, I think, right now. So, yeah. All right, let's get into this. First thing I want to do before I show you some more footage, let's go to see, let's see what SAR says about the firearm on their webpage here. So I'm going to jump over to my webpage and go to the links tab. And we're going to go to SAR USA. All right, we're going to go to products. This is K12 series. And here you go. They have the K12 Sport and the K12 Sport X. Now this is the K12 Sport, the one I picked up. So we'll click on it there. And there you go. Let's get a good view of it. That is the firearm we are talking about. Don't ask me how to pronounce SAR's full name. I will just mess it up, so I'm not going to. All right, let's look at their details here. So their specs. Well, they have three models here. They have K12 Sport X, K12 Sport, and K12 Compliant. My guess is that the K12 Compliant, which has 10+1, is for certain places that only allow you to have a magazine of 10 capacity. But the K12 Sport 9mm is the caliber, capacity 17+1, barrel length is 4.7 inches, action, single action. What is LOA? Length of action, length of 8.5 inches. Width is 1.3 inches, and weight is 46.9 ounces. Looks like with the X, the Sport X, they reduced some of the weight, probably by putting some lighter components in there, and I did notice that the barrel was, or that the slide had some cuts in it, so that's probably how they get rid of some of that weight. So their details here say, the crown jewel of the SAR USA lineup, the K12 Sport, will become your favorite pistol for competition shooting and target practice. This hammer-fired single-action pistol may become the most accurate factory pistol you will ever shoot. The 4.7-inch 9mm barrel is crowned for accuracy, and the single-action trigger is crisp and clean. Once you pick one up, you will be in love, they say. Well, I'll tell you my thoughts on it here shortly. Look at the features here. Crowned precision target barrel. Adjustable rear target sight. Lightened slide for less reciprocating mass. That's only the X model, which probably explains the less weight. Crisp single action trigger, manual safety, skeletonized hammer, backstrap checkering. All right, there we go. Let me jump back over here and we will kind of go over those features they mentioned. So there's the backstrap checkering right there. There is your safeties, and it is ambidextrous safety. They do flare out quite a bit if you look. I'll put my finger here behind one of them. There you go. You can kind of see how much it flares back. I mean, it's easy to get to, but what I don't, well, I won't go into my issues yet. I'll talk about that after I show you the next footage. It does have your standard, let me take the safety off, standard release right up here, and your standard magazine release right there. Pretty common for this type of firearm. It is kind of a predominant release, which I do like. Let's see here. The slide, one thing you might notice is the slide is actually recessed into the frame of the gun versus normally the slide will go around the frame of the gun. So that's kind of neat. A feature that not all firearms, of course, have. And let's go ahead and bring this back. There is your skeletonized hammer, and you got a single action trigger. So pulling the trigger, the hammer will not come back. You have to actually cock it, and then you can fire it. So there you go. All right, let's get her back there. This is it. Let me go ahead and show you my second day at the range with it, where I was starting to get more familiarized with it, and you'll see some of the issues I had adjusting to this new firearm, and I'll go over those. But it is a all-metal frame firearm, and it doesn't have anything fancy for sights, so, you know, I did what I could. Here's that video.
So nice. Whew. Black on black sights. In the light, it's not doing too bad, but probably have to upgrade them. Don't want to go down. Whew. So here we go. Ah, that thing. Let me go ahead and set those back up. It's shooting a little low, but I'm going to put different sights on it, so I'm not really going to mess with these until I get the other sights on. So here we go. Oh! Whew. All right.
All right, so you saw I had a few issues trying to figure it out, but eventually I did. One of the things I really, and don't get me wrong, I think this is probably one of the best firearms I've ever purchased. As far as quality, accuracy, just all around, one of the best quality firearms I've purchased myself, in my opinion. But I do have some issues that I want to fix or change on it, and one of them is the sights. If you look here, it is just a kind of a, you know, square cut black sight, and the front sight is the same way. It's just, you know, it's kind of squared off and black. So it makes it really hard. Let's see if I can do it here. Makes it really hard to line them up at their target. And then especially when it was dark out in that first video you saw, made it exceptionally hard. So I do want to get new sights for it. Unfortunately, I have not found anybody who's offering new sights or aftermarket sights for this firearm yet. And it's been out for a few years, my understanding is. So I don't know if I'm going to get that lucky. I might have to see if I can just daub some paint or something on these sights and try to make it work. I've been on a number of forums, and I'm telling you, there's people talking about trying to use other firearm sights that may fit the tongue and groove sections, and it doesn't seem like anybody's having any luck. So that is one thing I'll note, the lack of aftermarket sights for this thing. And as far as I can tell, there's no aftermarket triggers yet either. But actually, I really like this trigger. It is really light compared to what I normally use. And of course, like my carry firearms, I like a little bit heavier trigger just because I don't carry a firearm with a safety. So I get that little bit of extra protection, and I've become used to having a heavier trigger. So this is actually, when I take this to the range the third time, I had to remember, it took me a while to remember this thing had such a light trigger. Other than that, that's my big beef, is the aftermarket parts. I really don't like the safety. I'd like to see an aftermarket safety too, where I don't have to have it as flared like this. Maybe a little bit more profile, but I could live with this. I really like the sights to be able to upgrade. One thing I do like is this magwell for, you can just right in there. And I tell you what, the magazine just goes in and out, slides in and out of this thing so easy. It's so nice. Other than that, let's see here. Let's bring it back. I don't, like I said, those are my beefs. It's mostly aftermarket support for it, which is really non-existent. But out of the box, other than the sights, if the sights were like fiber optic or something more my style, I would say this is, there was nothing else I would do to this to make it something I may use even in doing my practical shooting competitions and stuff like that. And I'll probably migrate over to using that down the line once I figure out what best to do with these sights. So anyhow, that's kind of my review of it. I don't have a CZ Shadow to compare it to. I know there's a lot of people who do a comparison. A CZ Shadow is something that's been on my list, but that price point for the CZ Shadow is just out there. And I'm like, for a race gun, what a lot of people are calling this, because it's something that people use in, speed shooting or competition shooting. I just couldn't see dropping that much on something just for that. I mean, I'm not super into the competitive shooting. So I was like, man, dropping, $1,400-$1,500. No, I'm not going to. But around $750, I can do that. So anyhow, there you go. That's my thoughts on it. Like I said, I still think it's probably one of the best quality firearms I've purchased. The accuracy of this thing is just amazing when I can get myself to handle it properly and pick this, get the sights in line. If you're looking for something that isn't going to break the bank, but is more of a competition style or what they call a race gun for doing events and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong. I honestly don't. Everything I've been looking at too, these things are selling. Like when they come in, they sell out. And the only time people ever get rid of them is when they buy their CZ Shadow. So maybe that's something to say there. But like I said, I would like to see some aftermarket support for it. I think SAR, if they really want to make this, they're as they mentioned on their website, they're like the Cadillac of their U.S. market. They need to be pushing aftermarket support for this. I really think so. Not so much criticism of the firearm itself, but of the marketing of it. All right, I'm rambling. That's all I got. But I do have one more day of footage at the range, so here it is. And then the video goes straight into the end credits. And I want to thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like the review. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like the content, please hit that subscribe button. Here is the last day I was at the range.
All right, here we go. light trigger. Man. Well, I wasn't focusing on that one. Ooh, he did not want to go down. I'm going to try this guy again. Woo!